Hi, Mike Rosen, your neighbor here again. I've got a new video for you. Today, what we're going to do is count the number of amendments to the Michigan Condominium Act that have been enacted since 2002. And then we'll use that information to refute some of the crap the board has told you this year and last year. Well, let's get right underway. I've got the Condominium Act in front of me in an Adobe Reader, and we're going to use the magic of full text search and see what we can find. So what I'm going to search for here is the string 2003. And Adobe tells me, well, that doesn't occur in this document. Now, every section, every subchapter here that gets an amendment has the date recorded in a little history paragraph. Here's one right here. See it? And just by the way, an amendment may have two dates associated with it. I'm up to 2005. There's still no amendments. One for the enactment year and one for the effective date. So here, let me look for 2006. No, 2006. You know what's going to happen, of course. We're not going to find very many, are we? 2007, there weren't any. 2008. Search. No amendments in 2008. How about 2009? No, 0 instances. 2010? I don't think we're going to find any. Well, that's because this act is really very stable, very mature. And I know that Craig told you at a meeting one time that it changes every year. And Jim said in the fall, he said, you know, we had to order these bylaw updates to stay in keeping with annual updates to the Michigan condominium law. I'll quote those in one of my web pages for you, show you the source for that information. Let's look for 2011. No, there were no changes there. 2012, no. Oh, yes. Now, this is an enactment date. You see this? It was Act 369 of 2012. So I'm not going to count it yet, but I'm not cheating. We're going to get it over here when I search for effective July 1, 2013. So let me search for 2013. Then we'll see what's actually in that amendment. Okay, now, here it is. It's section 144. Effective July 1st, 2013. This is the first amendment between 2002 and 2013 that occurred. And what it says is that if you have a dispute with a developer, the developer can demand that you resolve it by arbitration. It's got nothing to do with Wynset because we don't have a developer. So we can just go and skip this. Now this one over here, there's another hit, but this is an enactment date, okay, of 2013. We'll get it when we search for 2014, which we're going to do right now. 2014, search. Okay, this is the same thing. This is the one we just looked at. And it is section 57. And what this one says is that every association has to have an audit performed annually. Does that have anything to do with Wynset? Well, yeah, kind of, except our bylaws already had that requirement. So that's not a change to the Condominium Act that caused any amendments to our bylaws. So that's meaningless. Let's keep going. 2015, I guess, would be our next search. There is a change here too. It also doesn't have anything to do with us. This is enacted 2015. Let's get it for 2016, the effective date. I'm not going to skip anything. I'm not cheating. Here we go. Okay, this one is section 66. And these are developer requirements. It's disclosure requirements by developers. It's got nothing whatsoever to do with Wynset. You see, subdivision plan, signature and seal, recording your deed, structures and improvements will be completed by developers. This is all things that developer has to do. We don't have a developer. This amendment, effective February 1st, 2016, Section 66, is irrelevant entirely to Wynset. Now, here, let's see what this one is. This is a 2016 effective. And this is Section 67. And this addresses a case where a developer leaves land undeveloped. In other words, he bought 10 acres, he built 5 acres of condos. What are you going to do with the remaining 5 acres? Has nothing whatsoever to do with Wynset. We don't have any undeveloped land. 2017, any amendments? Negative. How about 2018? No. Now, I'm reluctant to search for 2019. I know the answer. There are no amendments, but I'm going to get a number of hits. But they don't have anything to do with the content of the law. It says 83 hits. Well, I'll explain to you why. There's 40 pages. You see that right here? Each page happens to have the string 2019. One that this was the date, July 12th, up in Lansing. They rendered this file, and this is just a statement that they're complete through Public Act 47 of 2019. What about the remaining 3? This is called, they're in the metadata. Metadata is not the contents of the file, it's the properties of the file. It's like when it was downloaded and when it was distilled and what year was the version of the software. So these 83 instances are not, in any case, instances of amendments in 2019. Let me summarize for you what you just learned. You just looked at every year, counting each amendment. You saw between 2003 and 2012, there weren't any. There was one here in 2013, having nothing to do with us, because we don't have a developer to have arbitration resolve any disputes with them. We have the one from 2014, which says that we're required to have an audit, but we already have that requirement. And then there are these 2 about the developer requirements for developing their deed and recording it, and also what to do if you have any undeveloped land on the property. And then 2017, 18, 19 had 0. So when they told you that this thing changes every year, and you look and you say, well, in 14 of the last 17 years, it didn't change at all. You know, if somebody says to you anytime, he says, you know, we have to do this, there were all these changes. And you say, well, what were they changes? The changes? Can you enumerate them? Will you tell me what they were? And they can't or they won't. You can go look for yourself. And you say, gosh, you told me there were all these changes and I can't find them. They appear to not exist. These are imaginary changes. Okay, I'm going to end this now. There's going to be a link to this video in one of the pages on my section of my website devoted to the credibility of the board. You can see how this diminishes their credibility. I mean, I hope that's what you see. But I'm signing off now. Have a good day.